Dan, Fiji week, what's your memories of preparing for the Drua and just the challenge that they possess compared to other sides?
Yeah, you need to make sure you got your error count nice and low. Make sure you tackle well, and they'll hurt you off turnover attack. Very dangerous. I think we all know how Fiji play. They're offload and very good on transition. So we need to be clinical, and we're going to make errors. There's no doubt. We just need to shut them down quickly.
It seems a bit clear. Sort of easy to say, it was also under Glenn Jackson as well as coach. Him coming in over this and what you've seen over the first fortnight, how has he refined their game and made them sort of even more sort of potent attacking wise?
Yeah, he probably just helped them with their decision making and their structure around what they do to support their natural talent and their natural ability. So, but yeah, they'll. I don't think they're too different to what they have been in the past. Yeah, as I said, they might maybe a little bit more structure, but probably makes them even more dangerous.
Dan, you've obviously coached in a few different places and overseas. The punters view, I'm saying, is like this is one of the best Super Rugby starts anyway in terms of entertainment. Are you able, when you're on the couch at the weekend, are you able to switch off a bit and just like enjoy it, or is it always you're just looking at it in terms of the teams coming off?
Yeah, I didn't see a couple of the games on the weekend. I had to go to a function, and then Saturday drove down and watched the boys play against the Brumby Runners. Obviously watched the tape of the Drua game, but I think it's good rugby. It is, and I think with the Australian sides now being a group of four, good players aren't playing, and that's always a good sign. So, I think there's a bit more of a buzz around Super Rugby, certainly to what there was over the last year or two.
You've obviously been there, you've seen the admission of the Drua. What have they brought in terms of positivity to this competition?
Well, they just love the game, don't they? The Fijian people love the game. It's teams that go up there, big crowds, incredibly welcoming and respectful. And then when the boys get on the field, it's 80 minutes of hard work against quality rugby players. But I think they've been great for the competition, the Drua, and it's obviously had a massive impact on them on the international stage as well. They've got a world-class training facility up there now that allows them to prepare at the right level, and they're a dangerous outfit.
Ted, what do you make of so many tries over the first couple of rounds? Is there any reasons behind that, do you think?
I don't think the defences have been poor, to be honest. I just think that at times, the kicking game and attacking teams attack's been good. I think in the attacking 22 teams' conversion rate's been high. So it was interesting. I was just chatting to Laurie Fisher before, and I don't think Western Force, for example, defended poorly on the weekend, but conceded 42 points. I thought that a lot of their defence was actually quality, and we thought the same for a big part of our game against the Highlanders. I think we've got improvement to make around our D-zone defence, but I think it's just Super Rugby's always tended to have that at the beginning of the season. Defences are still working out system and getting on the same page, but for me it's been just quality attack.
In that respect, was having the bye straight after the round been beneficial and being able to target those things?
Because we had it, we'll tell you it was beneficial. It was good to get a couple of days away and review some harsh learnings but pleasingly off the back of a win. When you far from perfect and still winning your first game, that's a good sign for us.
How did you find managing, I guess for lack of a better word, the hype after such an exciting dramatic win and then having to wait almost 2 weeks for another game?
You review the performance, and that's how we manage the hype. There's not too much hype around here within the four walls of this building. It's just about we win, lose or draw, you review the performance, and if we had lost that game 37-36, I reviewed it exactly the same, so with real honesty and thoroughness, and that's going to allow us to get better.
Dan, obviously you saw Laurie down there enjoying some super dupers. Seen him before. How's that working? Is that something you're putting in place where you get the wallaby assistant coaches in just to bring a bit of different input, or is that from RA just to share resources? How does that work?
I think part of their job is to get around to the franchises and see how their training and help out where they can. And he's been up here a couple of times. Obviously, he's just a few hours down the road, so it's always good to get him in here and get him to observe our training sessions, and no doubt he'll pick the eyes out of it and give me plenty of feedback.
What about Joe Swaley? Do you expect to see him at fullback again?
Yeah, that's we'll name the team on Wednesday, but Jay's doing okay.
Yeah, and do you think with the Fijians, with how they like unstructured play, do you guys keep it as simple as possible again, and just little improvements with the attack, or how do you see it?
Yeah, we've had another 2 weeks of training together, another 3 or 4 sessions. So yeah, we'll just look to improve and get better. And off the back of the review of the Highlanders game, you know, we just didn't take opportunities that were in front of us a couple of times. We should have scored a few tries that we left out there. So you know, you're never going to nail all of them, but we need to nail more than we nailed on the 14th of February, that's for sure. But we won't go out there and try and play like Fiji. I think we'd get well beaten if that was the case. But you know, we'll play our game.
And just Mike Kate, spoke about Laurie before. What's he kind of brought? How's he like working with him for the first time? What's he saying with the pictures that you guys are delivering?
Yeah, no, he's just chipping away, Caddy. He's very good with the skill, very good with the players. The boys enjoy him. Really enjoyed working with him. Brings a different sort of eye, I suppose, in terms of what he sees and what's important to him. And it's just really nice to work with a quality attack coach who you can trust to go about doing his job. And we're a work in progress there. Attack's difficult, especially when it's a new system in rugby. Every tackle there's a contest for possession, and you might have to commit more numbers than you want to at a breakdown, and that impacts you in other areas. But we're getting there. But he's been a great addition, and I know that the players are certainly feeling like they're getting better under his coaching.
Yeah, you talk about going down for the Waratahs A game. When you have players standing out in that game getting wins, you come off last week as well. Can you just give us an insight on how tough it is to nail down 23 when you're sitting down on Monday or Tuesday and having to sort of pick from the quality that you have right now?
Yeah, it's difficult. I think I said the week leading into the Highlanders, that was one of the hardest teams I've had to pick. And it's the same. There's some good players that miss out. I think what we'll try and do is that guys that did just miss out and had really good pre-seasons and have worked hard and shown the right attitude and are ready to play Super Rugby, we'll look to give them an opportunity throughout the course of the first few rounds. And obviously over the next few months we're going to need to be smart around rotating, and we'll be forced to do that at some point in time as well.
We obviously saw against the Highlanders, Lalakai partnering with Joey Walton. What is it about that partnership that you really liked from the Highlanders, and hopefully for a while to come?
Look, I think they were both exceptional over pre-season, and La can play 12 as well as 13. So he had a rough year last year with injury, and just really pleased that he's got himself into probably career best shape, to be honest. And he's trained really well, and ideally we get a little bit more ball in his hands than what we did in round one. And Joey's just one of those foot soldiers, isn't he? That's here week in, week out. They're just so important at Super Rugby level. Ideally we can develop him and turn him into a player that gets the opportunity to play at the next level. But he's couldn't be more impressed with Joey. Just his attitude and his effort areas are a great example of others.
Just on Malachi, we're going to speak to him in a second as well. Clearly he kind of hasn't been part of the Wallop setup under Joe. Have you got any reason why? And also just him playing 13 as opposed to the 12 where he's generally lined up. What do you say about that?
I think injury didn't help him. Like, it was a pretty serious injury from all accounts, and an unfortunate time on the final training session before round one last year. So that would have impacted his confidence, I suppose, and knocked him around a little bit. But when he's playing well, having coached him at Wallaby level, really good player, powerful both sides of the ball. I think whether he's playing 12 or 13 doesn't really matter. It'll in this system, Joe's system, whoever, it's a number on your back. Once you get in a phase play defensively, he's very good in that area. So I've been pleased with Lara, and know that he's really motivated to have a big year.
When you talk about Lalakai in terms of just the growth from the injury, he had a difficult year last year. He said, career best form. what is it as well beyond the field that he gives you? Because he just seems to be loving his footy because it might have been taken away from him.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a good man. I think that's you know, he's obviously got a young family now, and his priorities have changed. He wants to be the best rugby player that he can possibly be, but he knows that the most important things sitting at home for him in the Northern Beaches with his wife and his kids, and you know, he just seems to be in a really good space off the field, and I think that flows onto your on-field performance as well. So that's what I like. I've got so much time for Lar, you know, because he's a really good person, and he backs it up with being a really good pro. So he's easy to coach.
Do you think potentially we haven't seen the best of him yet? I mean, Christy was saying Wallabies, he's been there, you coached him within the Wallabies. Do you think he can get back into that conversation?
Yeah, without a doubt. He's just got to string some performances together, and that'll become a possibility. I certainly know that he's hasn't been forgotten about from a Wallaby coaching group perspective, but you know, he scored one of the best tries the Wallabies have scored in Paris back in 2022. So yeah, there's a really good rugby player there who we know can perform at that level. Hopefully he gets there.
Thanks, Ted.
Lovely.
Thanks so much.